Mr. P. Diddy's bodyguard, better known as Uncle Ron, has been found unalived. Cause of death has been confirmed and it was in fact pneumonia.
Yo, how are we just now finding out that Uncle Ron passed away? How did this stay out of the media? And how the hell hasn't this been plastered all over TikTok?
I have physically showed them proof. Things that I have witnessed, things that was told to me. And yeah, of course, it's coming out.
Uncle Ron, Jay-Z's former bodyguard, exposed the industry's darkest secrets, and just days later, he was dead. His final video, mysteriously deleted, contained chilling confessions about Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and Diddy, secrets they never wanted the world to hear. Then suddenly his entire existence was wiped. His death was literally the same suspicious illness that took Diddy's ex. The cover-up is obvious, and what Uncle Ron revealed before he was silenced will make everything make sense. Diddy sitting in prison means a lot of things, but one thing's for sure, he doesn't need bodyguards anymore. For a man who built his empire on control, security, and carefully curated access, the fact that his entire world is crumbling around him is almost poetic. But while he's busy facing charges that include assault and trafficking, the people who once worked for him, some of them aren't around to talk. It was just another day on TikTok, until it wasn't. On September 13th, 2024, a man who called himself Uncle Ron dropped a bombshell video that would change everything. Uncle Ron had built a reputation for calling out music industry elites. He wasn't just some random guy talking crazy on the internet. He was Beyoncé's former bodyguard, and he had allegedly worked closely with Diddy too. His raspy voice carried the weight of years in the industry, years spent in the shadows of hip-hop royalty. But now, he was done being silent.
Beyoncé and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people. Beyoncé, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you.
The internet did a double take. Uncle Ron had been speaking out for months, hinting at industry secrets that would make Hollywood thrillers look tame. But this was different. He was naming names and pointing fingers, and next thing you know, he was dead. Before we get into the mysteries surrounding his death, let's talk about why this particular video sent shockwaves through social media. Uncle Ron wasn't just some random conspiracy theorist, he was someone who had been there, who had seen it all. And in his final message to the world, he didn't hold back. He claimed that Jay-Z and Diddy orchestrated Biggie's murder.
Jay-Z and Puffy wanted Biggie killed. Bottom line. You don't have to believe me, believe the facts. Here's a man that wanted to leave Bad Boy. He wanted to do his own thing. He mentioned several times how he was tired of being used that he was bigger than Bad Boy itself.
Uncle Ron had receipts, straight up claiming that Diddy personally offered him a huge amount of money to kill him.
I was offered $30,000 to perform a hit on Biggie Smalls.
He said he was approached on March 1st, 1997 to take out Biggie.
I also found out that very night that Biggie had plans of leaving Bad Boy. Biggie should have never been in California to promote an album with a broken fibula bone, who can barely walk. To go to another studio when Diddy has his own studio in New York. Diddy is pure evil. He has a very nasty disposition. He treats everybody like crap.
Apparently, Diddy wanted full ownership of Big's publishing.
Jay-Z wanted him out of the industry, period, so he could take over and be the biggest hip-hop artist around. And I wonder who's the biggest hip-hop artist today. It's all business, folks.
Now, Uncle Ron wasn't the only one pushing this narrative. Gene Deal, one of Diddy's former security guards, has also heavily implied that Puff had something to do with Biggie's. According to Gene, Puffy rented out studio time for Biggie in LA, even though he had his own studio in New York.
Why would Puff rent studio time? Come on, man, look. You gotta look at what people do, man. You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the hell would you rent studio time at LA for him to finish your album when in fact you got your own studio Daddy's house? Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop this bull.
And right after Pac had been taken out in Vegas, Gene said it straight. Diddy was scared of the beef Biggie had started, scared of retaliation from the Crips and the Dog Pound. So what did he do? Allegedly set Biggie up and made him an easy target. And if that's not crazy enough, Uncle Ron claimed Diddy was working with the feds. That's right, he alleged that Puff was in bed with law enforcement and might have even been the one to drop dimes on others in the industry to save himself. Let's fast forward to March 2024. By this point, Diddy's empire was crumbling. His homes were being raided, lawsuits were piling up, and people were finally connecting the dots on decades of whispers about him. And then, out of nowhere, Uncle Ron posted another cryptic video. In it, he basically warned everyone that things were about to really blow up.
Hey, this is everybody's Uncle Ron, and let me tell you this. Within the next couple of months, a whole lot of new stuff is going to surface. A whole lot of new names are going to come up that you guys were not aware of, including the bodyguards who were involved. You have to remember the personal assistants who were involved, who saw things. There were things that Jennifer Lopez saw that she may be even called upon because a lot of stuff was tried to be swept under the rug.
Now, keep in mind, March 2024 was the same month federal agents kicked in Diddy's doors. And Uncle Ron, he sounded like a man who knew something. He said bodyguards, assistants, people who had seen things were about to start talking. Then he dropped this wild statement.
Jennifer Lopez saw that she may be even called upon because a lot of stuff was tried to be swept under the rug, and unfortunately they saw things. So it's gonna all come forward, and this is not a game. It's definitely not a game, and it's more serious than a lot of you are really aware of.
Yeah, J-Lo, which if you've been keeping up with the lawsuits, suddenly makes a lot of sense. There were already rumors that she might be listed as a witness in a lawsuit tied to Diddy's alleged use of a 13-year-old girl after the 2000 MTV VMAs, and Ron was out here hinting that she had firsthand knowledge of things people were trying to keep buried. And then he said something even crazier. He claimed he had received a call, somebody high up clearly panicking, asking him how they could make this all go away.
Information that's being told to us, as well as certain things that we've already spoke about and that we know and that we've already set on the table. I've even had the personal call to find out, hey man, how can we sweep this under the rug? We can't sweep it under the rug, man. It's done. It's a done deal. And I will refuse to withdraw from my statement.
He wasn't retracting anything he had said. According to him, Beyoncé has allegedly been on for years, kept that way by Jay-Z.
Hey man, yeah, Beyonce's on. She been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way. Y'all wish it what you wish it to stay on top. But there's one thing about me, bro. I can't be bought. This is Uncle Ron. Just like I know how you got started, I can put my foot down and make it all go away.
He had proof and was ready to expose everything. People had questions, a lot of them. If Uncle Ron had all this dirt on the biggest names in the industry, why did it take him over 20 years to spill? Why wait until 2024 to start dropping bombshells on Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and Diddy? Was it about money? Clout? Well, Uncle Ron had an answer for that.
Of course, so many people have asked me why I waited 20 years or so long to come out and start talking and telling about the things that have happened in the industry. The most important reason why is I had children, and I still have children. But at that point in time, they were young, and my number one priority was protecting my children. I care less about the stuff that went on in the industry at that point in time.
He insisted it was never about money, claiming he already had plenty.
But there's stories that have to be told. The truth needs to come out. A man lost his life. So much more went on.
And he wasn't done. Uncle Ron also claimed he caught Diddy with a man behind the scenes.
Indulging in gay activities. I'm not bashing him, directly bashing him. I'm just telling the truth. He knows like I know. Gene knows like I know. Boo knows like I know. William knows. Bodyguards that were around him know. See, I had my own company, so I didn't need him. I didn't have to take his stuff. The bull crap that came along with being around Diddy. But see, when I start talking about Jay-Z and Beyoncé, oh, some toes will curl for sure. But hey, the truth is the truth, whether you believe it or not.
If that wasn't messy enough, he really sent the internet spiraling when he dropped an absolute jaw-dropper. Blue Ivy allegedly isn't Jay-Z's child.
Blue Ivy is not Jay-Z's child.
According to Uncle Ron, Beyoncé and Jay-Z's eldest daughter is actually the biological child of Tata Smith, Jay's longtime best friend and right-hand man.
Your relationship was a business relationship, financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there. See, what's done in the dark will definitely come in the light. Keep your threats up. I'm here today, and what I got to say, I'm gonna say it. So don't make idle threats to me.
If you're a Jay-Z fan, you know who Tata is. Hav has name-dropped him in multiple songs. He's been around since the beginning, way before Jay-Z had billionaire status. Jay even rapped that if anything ever happened to him, Tata would be the one to take care of his kids. So when Uncle Ron made this claim, yeah, the internet was shook, and then silence. And within 24 hours, Uncle Ron was gone. Uncle Ron was dead. But here's where things get weird. Nobody talked about it. Not right away.
How did Uncle Ron die? I have some answers. Now, this is where it gets a little crazy. He died last month. He was only 59 years old, very young. Some people are whirling around that he died of that same pneumonia that Kim Porter had. Sounds a little bit shady. Sounds like maybe the diddler had him taken care of, because here's something real crazy. I had myself and my people reach out to his family because his TikTok page is still active, and people in the comments are asking, what happened to Uncle Ron? What happened? What is the family doing? Deleting all of the comments.
His wife posted a brief message on his TikTok account confirming his passing, saying, "I would like to inform everyone on TikTok of my husband passing. Uncle Ron will always be remembered in love. If you can help with donations towards his funeral service, it would be deeply appreciated. Thanks, his wife, Evelyn." But major news outlets? Crickets. It wasn't until over a month later, on October 23, 2024, that his death finally started making the rounds. And the official cause of death? Pneumonia. The same illness that mysteriously took Kim Porter. The same illness that claimed actress Brittany Murphy. It's almost as if pneumonia has become the go-to excuse for high-profile deaths in Diddy's orbit. Now, let's be fair. Uncle Ron did have some health issues. He was open about it. He had even posted a tribute to Fat Man Scoop, another hip-hop legend, saying he couldn't attend the funeral due to his own medical problems. He had surgeries, hospital stays, and talked about trying to heal. But despite that, he was still very active, still making videos, still dropping tea. But that's not all. His family wiped the comments from his TikTok videos, erasing any mention of his passing. His videos exposing Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé vanished from the internet. Someone didn't want questions being asked. Someone didn't want people remembering what he said, and friends who knew him swore up and down that he had been in perfect health. And that's where things got really weird. Uncle Ron knew something might happen to him. Before his death, he posted a video warning that if anything happened, people shouldn't believe he died of natural causes. He straight up called it. And Jaguar Wright, who's been sounding the alarm on the industry for years, wasn't buying the pneumonia story either. She was one of the first to say it outright. Something wasn't right about Uncle Ron's death.
Well, they said he died from that pneumonia.
Yes.
You know, just like Kim, just like Brittany Murphy. That pneumonia ain't no joke. Hey, every time somebody get to telling the truth about someone, whoever's been lying, they just say a little prayer and then the pneumonia comes.
Because guess who handled all 3 of those autopsies? Ed Winter. If that name sounds familiar, it's because Ed Winter was the coroner for some of the most controversial celebrity deaths in history. Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Paul Walker. And now people were pointing out that his own cause of death was listed as unspecified natural causes. Oh, and some reports even claim he died of, wait for it, pneumonia. Now back to Uncle Ron's case. If his death was really natural, why was his TikTok page being wiped clean? See, he wasn't just exposing the industry. He had openly admitted he was working with the authorities. He had been cooperating on an investigation. And Diddy, he was just arrested. So if Uncle Ron was supposed to testify against him, well, the theory is that he was taken out before he got the chance. Fans are already all in on this, saying, "This has the Carters all over it." Another said, "This is serious, man. I knew trouble would come for him when he started spilling stuff Abjay and Bay." Others are concerned for Jaguar Wright, saying, "She better come out of this untouched. I'm worried about her." So what does all this mean? Was Uncle Ron keep him quiet, or did he really just die of pneumonia? His claims were too detailed to ignore. He had receipts, and the fact that his death was so perfectly timed with Diddy's downfall, it's enough to make you wonder. And here's the scariest part. Nobody in the industry is talking. No celebrities are speaking out. No insiders are confirming or denying his claims. It's silence, absolute deafening silence. So ask yourself, if what Uncle Ron said was a lie, why is everyone so afraid to let him speak? And that's the tea. Uncle Ron was just one man, but his words shook the industry. If his claims were false, they would have been easily debunked. Instead, they were erased. The real question is, what else did he know? Well, this is definitely suspicious. And if you found this deep dive interesting, check out our next video. Because trust me, this rabbit hole only goes deeper.